Happy Mother's Day. For those of you who didn't know or don't know, I had an at-home birth. It's not as lovely as all of the other people who have at-home births and have a two-parent home. So I'm going to skip over a lot of the details just because I don't want everything that happened to me on the internet. I think it's best for my kid to find out a lot of this stuff and form her own opinion when she's much bigger. Anyway, I worked until I went up into labor. The day I went into labor, I was having really bad anxiety about stuff unrelated to my labor. So I was essentially having a panic attack. I remember sitting on the couch and time flew by. I was supposed to go into work, but for some reason the time wasn't clicking. And I came back to my manager calling me asking if I was okay because I was pretty far along into my pregnancy. I think they could tell something was wrong, so they ended up rushing here. By the time they got here, my water broke and they were like, "Oh, are you okay? It's okay to not be okay." And I just remember saying no. I wasn't scared about the labor, I was scared about stuff that was happening outside of the labor. They made sure I was okay before they left. Then I let my exes from high school's parents know that I went into labor because one of them was my doula, not my kid's dad, but a different exes from high school. They ended up showing up later in the day because I didn't have contractions at the time my water broke first. The only problem was the normal contractions aren't so bad, but my kid was facing the wrong way. And since I was lifting and walking everywhere in like 90 to 100 degree weather in the summer while being very pregnant and all these things, my back labor was so intense. I still remember that pain to this day. We ended up calling the midwives over to see how far along I was, and I think I was only about 3 centimeters. So they gave me a shot to go to sleep for a couple hours. My doula left to go home so they could get some rest because they knew it would be a long day once I was further along. I was asleep. I remember binge watching all of Gravity Falls, and then the regular show I got pretty far too, but I watched that my entire labor. I can't wait to show her that and tell her that that's what I watched when I was having her. My aunt and uncle showed up for a while too, and then I think they left for a while, and then they came back when I was further along and things progressed more. We did a lot of exercises to try to turn her around, but it didn't work. Fast forward a couple hours, I don't know how long I was in labor, honestly. I remember being ready, my contractions were fast, my doula was there, and I was about to have her, but I had an adult diaper on because when your water breaks first, it breaks the entire labor. It doesn't break once, it keeps breaking. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not something I knew at the time. The midwives show up barely on time. They had about 10 minutes before I had her. They were asking, "Why do you think you're ready?" Kind of trying to distract me. And the student that was with her that delivered my kid, she ended up sitting behind me because I was sitting face down. I think they were saying that they were going to do another dilation check, which is the most painful thing I've ever experienced, by the way. But this time when they went to check, she was like, "The baby's crowning." I was like, yeah, because I was so scared that I was about to have this baby in my adult diaper because they were trying to do a cervical check instead of believing that she was on the way. She last second turned and she's facing the right way, and it was a really quick actual birth. And then my placenta had a hole in it, so there was a lot of bleeding and fluids, but it wasn't internal bleeding. It was probably caused during labor is how that got a hole in it, but we don't really know. I would have had to been rushed to the hospital if it was internal, so I know it wasn't. I had to save the umbilical cord a couple minutes just so her dad could cut the cord because he wasn't there on time, which was for the best, honestly, with all of the stuff going on at the time. I think it would have been pretty hard to give birth if he were in the room or nearby. My aunt was in the room with me, my doula, the midwife, and the student were all upstairs, and then my cousin and my uncle were downstairs. So my cousin and uncle heard when my kid was born, and my aunt was there when she was born upstairs. They asked if I wanted to keep my placenta, and I was like, yeah. I guess they brought it down here to where my cousin and my uncle were. My cousin was like, "I don't want to see blood, I don't want to see anything like that." So he didn't expect them to do that, roll that up. It's still in my freezer. I don't know what to do with it yet. I still have that. 19 months later. If you can, I'd recommend doing a home birth because it's so convenient being able to wake up in your bed and do everything. My kids' great-grandparents on her dad's side, I let them show up after she was born to meet her the day she was born, so I didn't withhold anyone from her. That first night was rough, but it was doable. I think that is the hard part about having an at-home birth, is caring for a child on your own the first day they're born, but I wouldn't give it up for the world, honestly. If you have any questions about an at-home birth or the process or what I had to do or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. Happy Mother's Day.